Hello, welcome back, and thanks for joining me. I'm a bit windswept and I look a bit teary, but I'm alright, I promise. I've taken Wilbur for a little walk and it's really quite cold and windy, so it's just got in my eyes a little bit, but I'm fine. I'm not crying. I've not got a huge amount to tell you this week. In fact, I've got almost nothing to tell you this week. I'm just going to show you a few things like this. So we got a really lovely Northern Lights display here last week. I live in the north of England, it's quite rural, so there's not a lot of light pollution. So when there is a Northern Lights alert, we can usually see them. Sometimes we have to go a bit further out to see them, but we could see them from the back garden last week, which was lovely. We saw that really good display as well last year, as well as that one last week. It was really cloudy, so I didn't think we were going to get to see it at first, but we did, so that was exciting. 15 years ago, I went to Norway and to see the Northern Lights and to experience the sort of polar winter. And I went right at the end of the polar winter, so I went purposely so that I could see the first sunrise of the year. And it was for my undergrad, and I was looking at a bit like the I was trying to explore light and impact on communities and what makes like the light in places and things like that. And Norway felt like the perfect place to do that. And on I think it was the 15th anniversary that I went to Norway to do that, is when I saw the Northern Lights last week. So that felt quite nice, because it was also the first day of my masters that I've started with Falmouth University. So it's an online masters. I'm not actually going into Falmouth. It's very far away. It took me about 8 hours to get there. It's online, which is great. The course has been amazing. Everyone's been great so far. I've done a couple of lectures, I've done a seminar, I've done a bit of written workshops. I'm still trying to figure out the balance of time, because I still work full-time job, but within 4 days, and I've also got a fit masters in, drawing in, and life. So I'm still just trying to work out that balance. So I didn't do anything on drawing last week. Well, nothing of note anyway to show you on the drawing. But I'm just trying to learn how much what's expected of me, when it's expected of me, how much I'm gonna have to do, and just figure out my time and things like that. So last week in masters stuff, we looked at like art and material. So it's something I'm quite into. I think all artists are into art and material. So that means like the material you're using and the art you're producing, and what's the link between stuff like that. So I purposely used that old handmade paper, and I purposely used graphite because it's from the area, to do that felt drawing. And the felt drawing was of a photograph taken from the place that I got the paper from. So it's things like that, and how that all works out. I'll try and put a screenshot of the bit of work I did for my masters last week here, so you can just see the sort of analysis of the drawing. Because this masters is aimed at training you to be research led in your artwork, which I think is something people don't necessarily realise. Art is research. It's a form of research, and it's a form of showcasing research as well. And then this week we're looking at art and criticality, and something we've been asked to do is to create a journal of our thoughts and things like that, and sort of realizations and dialogue around our artworks. And that's something I've always been really bad at. I can talk about the material, the meaning. I can talk about what it is I want to show you, the points I'm trying to raise around the artwork, but I'm quite bad at writing it down. I feel like I repeat myself a lot. I think I repeat myself a lot when I talk about it as well, but in writing it's more noticeable, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so hopefully I'm going to learn how to get better at that, and hopefully I can share a bit of that with you at some point too. So that's it on the sort of drawing and arty front. I've got a little bit of photography stuff to show you. It's nothing particularly exciting. I went to a nature reserve last week, took a few photos of a bit of wildlife. It was quite rainy. I really want to get that photograph of an owl. Again, if you've been watching for a while, or you're dipping in and out, you might have heard I'm trying to get a photograph of a barn owl. I've got one, but it's really bad, and the owl's really far away. I just want a really nice picture of a barn owl. I think really I don't have the lens for wildlife photography. I've got a sports lens, which you can generally use sports lens and photography lenses, but my sports lens just isn't quite big enough for wildlife photography really. So I'm absolutely nowhere near the point of being able to buy one of them. So I'm just doing what I can with what I have. So I photographed some birds and some deer last week. They're not amazing. They're okay. I'm not great at it. I just do it for a bit of fun every now and then. I know someone that is really good at wildlife photography. I know a few people that are really good at wildlife photography actually. Like I say, still on the hunt for that barn owl to photograph that. Hopefully it keeps raining in the evenings, which is stopping me getting out and looking for the barn owl. Hopefully we'll have a few nice evenings soon and we can get out and go and see if we can find a barn owl to photograph again soon. That's it really for this week. I'm sorry it's just been a ramble, but well, I'm not really that sorry. These were made for me to sort of vlog and get better at talking about my artwork and things like that. So that's it for this week. I'm gonna hold myself accountable here. I'm gonna get more done on that drawing next week. By next week I'm gonna get that bridge done. I'm gonna do it. By next week the bridge is gonna be done. And if it's not, you can all come for me. Not in real life, just like in the comments. If you care enough to, you don't have to, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna get that bridge done this week. That's what's gonna happen, promise. And if you're interested in hearing a bit more about an Art Masters and what that entails, then let me know. If you don't want to hear about it at all and you think it's boring, then fine. I probably will mention it still a little bit because I need to. Part of it is talking about things. So yeah, that's it for now. I hope you have a lovely week. Maybe we saw the Northern Lights again this week. Who knows? And let me know if you're into wildlife photography. And if you are, where can I see your pictures and how do you do it? Because I'd love to know. Right, see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.